What's up, everybody? So today we are going to talk about lesson 14 in math. If you are at home at Group A, it is Wednesday. Group B, it is Monday. Today you have to do lesson 14 for math, and it's basically just taking ratio tables, which we've been working on, and putting them into graphs or line plots, okay? It's very, very simple, so I'm just going to walk you through a couple. Here we go. So you can see right here, there are just two rate tables right here. Well, they're both about trains, which I can probably see from this picture. So let's read the problem. Kelly is traveling by train with her soccer team from Yonkers, New York to Morgantown, West Virginia for a tournament. The distance between Yonkers and Morgantown is 400 miles. The total trip will take 8 hours. The train schedule is provided below. So going from Yonkers to Morgantown, Virginia is right here, right? And then leaving from Morgantown, West Virginia back to Yonkers, these are the places you stop, and you stop same places. It's just going and leaving, okay? Or going to there and coming back from there. So exercise 1 says, create a table below and show the timeline that will take Kelly and her team to travel from Yonkers to each town listed below. So if it's going to take 400 miles to take 8 hours, right? We can actually go ahead and say that we're going to start at the first one, and at 0 hours, she will have gone 0 miles, right? Well, if we get back in here, then she's going to go 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, and eventually 8 hours, right? So there should have been one more. We'll just add it on to the bottom there. So we're going to click in here. Oh, don't want that one. There we go. Let's say this is 0. So at 0 miles hours, she's gone 0 miles. We're going to start needing to get used to putting in zeros like that. I'm going to go ahead and just go all the way down. And I know at the end, after 8 hours, she will have traveled 400 miles, right? Well, if I can come back up, what's halfway between 0 and 8, or 1 and 8? That's about 4 hours. So after 4 hours, she would have gone halfway, which is 200, okay? Notice I'm not going in order here because I don't know exactly what the unit rate is, so I don't know how far she travels after 1 hour, but I know how far she travels after 8 hours. It's going to be 400 miles, and then I know after 4 hours she's going to travel 200 miles because halfway there. So we can actually go ahead and cut that in half again. So what would 100 be? It'd be on the 2 section, okay? So after 2 hours, she'll have gone 100 miles. So then I can say, well, what's halfway between 0 and 100? It's 50. So what we've done right here is we just figured out the unit rate. After 1 hour, she travels 50 miles. So now we can just go ahead and count up. Well, 1 is 50, 2 is 100, so 3 should be 150, and then 200, count up 250, 300, and 350. And so now we can figure that out very simply. Okay? Move that down a little bit. Oh, a little bit of formatting stuff we got to do. Okay. All right, so we are here. All right, moving on. 2, create a double line graph shown for the time it would take for Kelly and her team to travel from Yonkers-town listed in the schedule. So again, it's going to be 0 to 0, okay? And then after 8 hours, she will have traveled 400 miles. Boom, boom, okay? And then we're going to say we know that after 1, she traveled 50, so this is just really putting it in there. And then after 2, she's gone 100. And after 3, she's gone 150. Sorry, another handwriting's bad. Again, writing with the mouse. After 4 hours, she's gone 200. Okay. And so you would just keep going all the way up until you got to 800. I'm not going to finish that right now. Using the information from the double line graph, how many miles would she have traveled in 1 hour? Well, that's very simple. It's what we found earlier. It's that unit rate, which is 1 to 50. Okay, and we already put it in a ratio. And it says, how do you know? And I could just point back and say, well, I know that after 8 hours travels 400 and 4 hours travels 200. If you keep reducing that down, you can say the word equivalent fraction, and you could use words like reduce or scale down, and you'll eventually get there, okay? All right, now here's a part where we're going to actually start graphing these things. So dinner service starts once a train is 250 miles away from Yonkers. What's the minimum time players will have to wait before they can order their meal, okay? So after 1 hour, let's go ahead and text. Let's go ahead and put it in red. After 1 hour, okay, they will have traveled 50 miles. After 2 hours, they will have traveled 100 miles. So they're still not serving now. Okay, 3 hours, they haven't served yet. It's at 150. After 4 hours, it's 200. And then finally, after 5 hours, it's 250 hours or miles. So they've officially started serving at 250 hours. So, boy, I hate when it messes with it like this. There we go. So right here, if I can get back in there now. Right here, 5 hours and 250 is where they've actually started eating. And then we're going to go ahead and graph it. It says, what are the ordered pairs? Well, actually, it's just the ratio just turned. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it was 1 to 50. So now we're going to put in 1, 50. And then down here, we're going to put in 2, 100. And we're going to just keep doing that. Now, to graph that, we're going to have to put these numbers on this graph line. Let's say that each one is 10, okay? So right here is going to be 10. Let me see if I can work that around. That's 10, okay? So each line up is 10, and each line over is going to be 1. So let's say that the very first one, okay? Let's make this blue so that we can see, okay? So you're going to go over 1, up 50. So 1, over 1, up 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So this is the first place you're going to put this dot, right here. Boom. And that is 1, 50. Now the next one should be 2 and 100. So we go 1, 2, and you go up. That's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. And the next one would be what? You probably guessed it's 3 and 150. So 3 over 3 up 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And if we did it the right way, okay, we should get a straight line that would go all the way up through there. That's graphing. If you don't remember how to graph, remember that it is X first and then Y, okay? So if it is 1, 50, remember that the X is the 1 and the Y is the 50. And if there's a little guy and he's going into the hospital, he's going to go into the hospital before he can go up the hospital elevator, right? So X is over and Y is up and down. And I know that's kind of hard to see here, but hopefully my words were helpful. So that's it. You're going to work on this now, which is pretty simple. It's just 2 problems that are graphing and whatnot. And I'm going to get you started on this very first one, and then you can figure out how to graph it, okay? Complete the table below to find the following values. So find the number of cups of sugar. For each pie, Carrie needs to make she has to use 3 cups of sugar. So 1 makes 3. And then 2 would make what? You double it, so it would be 6. And what are we counting up by here? What's the rate? Should be 3, so 3, 6, 9. and then 12, and then 15, and lastly 18. Pretty simple. Okay. Now all you got to do is graph it. So the first one is 1, 3. So you come over and you go 1, and you go up 3, 1, 2, 3. So there you go. There's your first dot. Boom. Where would your next dot be? 2, 6. Over 2, up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, this is over, and this is up. Okay. So you're going to be in charge of finishing this, and that's all you got to do. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.